When you come in, please mute yourselves until you are called on. Please type your questions in the chat. And I know that I have a chat in Zoom and then a chat out in YouTube. You can type it in the one in Zoom, please, so I can see it better there. I won't be keeping up fully with the one out in chat unless you're speaking and talking to someone there. All right. And go out there and type in for me, Juju Chi, Freeing Friday. Because my chat there on YouTube is actually, I feel like I'm lagging there. I don't know if I'm in real time. Okay, so first thing is, again, I just want to announce quickly, if you guys are first time here with me, it's Master Shaman PaLiChee with PaLiChee Healing. And today we are throwing out 1 card free readings, 1 question free reading on that, or just to respond to a question if you had a dream, if you have a pressing question in regards to any aspect of your life. If you just want to know if you got the job or didn't get the job, I may look into that as well. But if you want to go more in depth, it is $33.33 for a 3-card full reading or a spirit channeled message. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. I will be out here for approximately an hour and maybe 15 minutes or so. So with further ado, we are going to talk about 5D. And the question to you is also, did you know that in the past, so in the further past, most psychic mediums or shamans and other seers, wizards, whatever healers, they never really used to meditate. And this is not everybody, but this is a percentage, okay? I discovered this when I went to an exposition and I spoke to a different variety of healers. And they would tell me, how do you keep up with your healings? How do you get that energy that you have to do what you do? Because we don't feel that, or I don't feel that. And I have to kind of take a deep breath and then, go rejuvenate and then come back. And I said, well, do you meditate? And sure enough, to me knowing this, but I wanted to confirm, is they don't meditate. And the person tells me they don't meditate. I went to another person, a psychic medium, and they didn't meditate as well. And then another psychic didn't meditate as well, okay? Men or women. There's only very few that will keep up with their meditations. There's very few that will, be diligent in doing their CE. I call it a CE because it's continuing education. It's your continued education, okay? So if you don't do continuing education when you're doing this type of work, then you're not fully awakening because you're not knowing the importance of what you're doing is in your continuing education, right? So once you understand that you need to do continuing education, and as you are studying for it, right, as you are rising as a shaman, as you are rising as a seer, wizard, psychic medium, an energy healer, whatever that may be, you need to know and value, put that at the top of your list that you need to do continuing education. And when I say continuing education, for most people, it's I have to find something new. I have to go take this class and go do that course to add on to my continuing education. But what I really mean is self-mastering, okay? So you need to remember about self-mastering. Even though you are helping others, or maybe you're on the brink of helping others, maybe you are still a rising shaman and you're kind of dipping your toes into doing a channeling or meditating to see what's kind of going on with this person or this situation. Or you're a psychic medium, you're doing tarot cards, you're doing astrology, you are doing energy healing and trying to see what kind of energy you see of that person. Well, you need to hone in on your self-mastery to keep up what you have learned or what you are in the midst of learning, right? So you need to allow yourself to give yourself more personal experiences with your mind, exercising your mind to allow yourself to master what you are actually doing. And how can we know when we're a master? You'll just know. Because if you have spirit guides and you're not just doing this all on your own, you have guidance. And if you are tapped into your guidance, then you'll know 100% when you are mastered, or at least at the top of your mastery, right? You are still going to be mastering all the things that you do in this lifetime if you've gone into this purpose, right? Into doing the purpose of becoming a healer of some sort. Now, if you're not trying to become that one healer and you're just wanting to become a healer for yourself or family, then you still need to do continuing education, right? Because what happens after a few years if you don't do it? Someone comes to you and say, hey, I know that you've been doing this for a while. Can you take a look into my relationship? What are you going to say then, right? I'm speaking to all of you guys that know that you have some special gifts. You have already tapped into this gift and you are raising yourself, raising your vibration in order to use this gift more improved, right? And more undoubtedly, less fear, and more confidently. So this is what you'll need to do, is to put continuing education on the top of your list, whatever that may mean for you. What it meant for me was to every day meditate for a couple hours, jot down in my journal what happened in my meditations, and connect with my guides, allowing them to lead the way. I didn't lead the way, they did. Okay? You'll hear more about that story at a later point in time. But I wanted to emphasize that meditation is the key to really honing your gifted abilities, because a ton of you have come and said that you think that you have gifted abilities. Whether it's energy healing, you can see energy more, you can see visions, you can hear things, or you just have a deep knowing, right? So either way, what you're naturally drawn to feeling right now, or already am feeling, you'll need to hone in on meditation. Now, if you don't know how to meditate, I have a class coming up for meditation. And if you are listening right now, you need to go onto my Facebook, go follow the Facebook page, go like the page, and I'm going to be announcing that meditation class very soon, okay? And it's going to be meeting at least once or twice a month. And these are boosted meditations. These are meditations that you would do with me if you are trying to really boost yourself in your own healing, or this is doing CE, continuing education, okay? So I'm going to give out this continuing education as a spiritual life coach in meditation, teaching you how to meditate, wipe your slate clean and meditate along with me, whether I'm speaking or guiding or not. We are going to be guiding you through the light of the universe, the highest one of the chi energy, allowing you to meditate and to hone in on your gifted abilities. There's going to be a challenge as well that I'm going to be doing soon, so be ready for that one as well. So whether you are changing your career, moving yourself out of these friend circles that you don't feel connected to anymore, changing your relationships, these are all feelings and urges that you don't want to hold on to any longer, or you feel like there's no need, right? So I want to say that before you do any changes, you want to hold on for a moment and give yourself some time before you go and do all that. Go back to the moral values, because this is where it all stems from. Moral values of family, love, and kindness. Now, some of you may tell me, well, I didn't really have a really supportive family. My family didn't really love me. I had trauma in the family. I was beaten. I didn't really have a family. I'm an orphan, or I was homeless. But you have family, whether that's blood family you were born into, or family that you found that would come running with a call, right? With one call, they would come in running to you. So before you move on and cut these people out of your lives, you may be embarrassed one day to come back and find that they are the only people that you really needed in your life, or that you can count on. No matter how far we move, it is the family that we're born into, the siblings, the parents, especially the parents, that you'll want to never cut ties with, because at one point in time, you are going to feel the feelings just like them. And that is called karma. So before you move on and cut anything out of your life, are you doing this out of anger and remorse? Or are you really doing it because you feel that it's a need to move on to something, and maybe you'll come back again? But not out of anger, not out of regret or remorse. For some people, they feel like they didn't ever want to be born into that family. But I have another talk about family and why you're born into the family karmically through past lives, right? So decipher before you change, discern yourself, your situation, and give it some meditation. Thinking about it, you may have biased emotions, right? So to be emotionally intelligent, you'll need to do meditation to go back to the moral values and or character and or codes that you wanted to live by if you didn't live by them, or that you live by them and want to go and revisit them. You may have cut them off at some point in time of your life because of trauma, because of karma that has hit you and made you feel as though this is not the life you really wanted. But in fact, you come to find at a later date, when you realize and you awaken, that it is okay that you went through these things because you became a better person. You were able to improve through this trauma, through these karma that made you a better person. Now, if you had enough karma or trauma in your life and you're saying this is enough, you are also moving into 5D, living, right? Living in 5D, 5-dimension. 5-dimensional living is a dimension where we don't see it tangibly like everyday life. Unless you have meditated and spent time with yourself, with spirit guidance and connection to the universe, then you are knowing what I'm talking about when I say 5D. It is your 5th dimension. And those that are moving on and living into, beginning to live into 5D, you're going to start to feel, and these are some signs, right? Because 5D is it's a very mystical dimension. And we are just, as a human race, as a collective human race with our minds, we are just at the verge of going and exploring what 5D is. There's one-offs of us, our ancient ancestors, who have known what 5D is, but they never really spoke of it. Because what happens the moment they spoke of 5D, and they spoke in 5D, right? In the 5th dimension, they would be shut down. They would be shunned away. They would be called crazy. People would tell them that they are going crazy, because what they mention, if your mindset is living in 5D, because 5 dimension The fifth dimension is rather a state of being than something physical that we can see, touch, or feel at this moment in date and time. Now, that could be different in a couple years. But living in 5D, you're raising or being raised to a higher vibration through this dimension because your mindset is going there, is being drawn there. And for those of you that are living there now, there's probably a handful of you, but most of you are getting there. Some signs of 5D is your mind is more at ease and it starts to quiet when people are talking. It starts to quiet down to listen to them, what the mind is thinking, right? What is coming into the mind? What is being allowed into the mind, these messages, so that you don't doubt the messages that are coming into your mind. You're not saying, oh, is it me or is it something else? Is it me or is it my spirit guides? You're not doubting that because you're quiet enough. Your state of mind is there and it's quiet enough that these messages are coming to you clearly and you know it is not thinking, okay? Also, you will not be in denial when you're at fault. You'll face your faults, you'll face your truths. Or trauma that you faced, you'll be willing to face the trauma even though it hurts. Karma, karma in the part that you have maybe saw karma that came to you many times, and you're like, no, I don't want this karma anymore, and I'm going to shift myself out or it out. And I'm going to find some healing. I'm going to deeply find this healing for myself. Be willing to invest in myself if I don't know how to do it myself, and know how important for me to be living in fifth dimension, right? In the fifth dimension. If you've already faced enough of this trauma, you want to heal, this is living in 5D. Because at that point, money is there, but attracting money isn't a problem, right? Because it's more of a, how do I say, illusion of what you really need in your life, right? And then also experiencing significant personal contentment. You're also experiencing happiness despite of life happenings, right? Everything can happen all around you, but you are still content personally, such as maybe having a job loss. And I know a lot of those has been happening. How do you handle that, right? I definitely have an experience in that as well from more than 10 years ago. Family issues, things that happen in the family, conflicts, you not getting along with your sibling or your mother or father because everybody has grown up and grown older and everybody knows everything and everybody's so wise. But are you? Financial issues, right? In 5D, you are able to handle your financial issues, though you may have anxiety about it because you're still also partially here in the physical world, in the waking life, but your mentality is in fifth dimension. So financial issues to you is, if I am still breathing, I can still gain my financial strength. I allow myself to attract abundance. That is 5D. Relationship issues. How do you handle and cope when you have relationship issues in 5D? If you're having relationship issues and your mindset and the state of being is in the fifth dimension, you're saying, I forgive this person. It's easier to forgive, right? Because your state of mind is in 5D. Because you can see beyond this person and what they're all angry about. Because it's not really about you, it's about themselves. That's what you would realize in the fifth dimension. You would also feel more fluid. The fluidity in the fifth dimension is you're realizing that life in your body will eventually end. You'll eventually grow old, and that's okay. But your spirit will always live on, right? Yet you still positively want to keep living, breathing, smelling the flowers, intaking the foods that makes you feel good. Mind you, makes you feel good, right? Not think you feel good. There's a difference. And then also the ability to release any negative feelings or negativity faster, like I mentioned, and you can move on from it and let things go more easily or faster. Accepting the time and space, knowing that time and space exists, but knowing that it's also an illusion and you can navigate through time and space any time of the day with ease, right? When you're in 5D. Yes, there's also going to be these, you're going to deal with other people that's not in fifth dimension. You're also going to deal with the emotions that are not in fifth dimension that are coming towards you that you have to deal with every day if you're working with other people. But that's okay because you can handle it in the fifth dimension. This comes with personal metaphysical experiences too, in order for you to be able to handle easing through time and space, such as manifesting and realizing the results. And sometimes literally the results are in your hands. You will be drawn to doing what makes you feel happy. You're not going to be happy at a job when it doesn't feel right anymore. You emotionally don't feel right or synchronized with this career anymore. So you're going to be shifting out. Though you try to stay there because of the money, it's not going to last because your why isn't there with that job, with that career. And that's going to come with you making a say and discerning, should I stay or should I go? Sometimes it's good that you are laid off of that job and you look at it in a positive way. I'm laid off. Wow, now this gives me time and a chance to do what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to do X, right? And that gives you a chance to breathe again and be who you were meant to be. Now you may still need to make money because you still need to pay that bill if you're here in the society. But you will make it through a purpose that you want to feel good in, a purpose that you are walking in the fifth dimension, that makes you not feel icky about your job or that you are lying to yourself, that it feels good to be there, that you're helping other people when in fact, you're actually destroying the planet and other people. So what can I say? The fifth dimension, you will also begin and be drawn to doing the things that you can do best as well, things that you're gifted in. And it also will draw you more further to hone in on that gift. And that's where our humanity is actually going, right? You will begin to be drawn to become either an ever healthier person, right? Exercising one, you feel like, oh, I've got to exercise, but you keep telling yourself when you're not in 5D yet. If you keep telling yourself, you have to actually go and do what you know you should be doing. Then that puts you, when you do it, you take the action, putting your intentions into action, emotionally being there presently, then now you can feel like you're healthier. Now you can feel happy because you are doing your purpose. Each individual will be drawn to something more magnetically. For example, in the aspects of your life, that is. So you're going to be magnetically being drawn to something like health. You know, when you get into the fifth dimension, each person is going to have a different drawn field, right? So somebody may be, your friend might be more drawn to health, while you're going to be more drawn to, you know, say, for example, helping someone in their relationship, or drawn to helping yourself in your relationship and improving how you communicate with your family. You may be drawn to that. Some people may be drawn to helping other people with their career and finding out what their actual real career would be. I call that purpose 1 and 2. Purpose 1 is the purpose that you're supposed to be on in this lifetime as a human. Purpose 2 is the purpose that you're going to be doing. You kind of like it and you are good at it somewhat, but it's going to help you make a living. Or you may just have one purpose and that helps you make a living. Either way, you're going to feel good about purpose 1 and purpose 2, right? For those of you that have gone on with spiritual life coaching with me, that's what we talk about, purpose 1 and purpose 2, and how to hone in on that. And what is your purpose 2? Is it what you're in right now in your career, or is it something totally different? In fifth dimension, you will become more aware of your emotions. You're going to be like this you're going to have this extrasensory perception, right? That you are this third person looking at your own self and seeing how you are reacting. You can have this very instantaneously while you're talking to someone during a conversation, or it could just be during anything that you are anywhere that you talk to, you're communicating yourself to someone or articulating how you feel to someone. You're going to be more aware of your emotions and more empathetic with others, okay? Using this love, kindness, values, going back to the moral values as well. Because when you meditate, you are being drawn back to moral values. You also will start to understand in the fifth dimension that the energy of self and abundance takes you to do continuing education on meditation. Energy of self and abundance is very connected, okay? Because what I mean by this is if energy is stagnant, your own energy is stagnant, your abundance is going to be stagnating. Once you get into synchronization of the energy of self and you are running well with yourself, you don't even have to work so hard for the money or for the abundance or to pay that bill. It's going to come because your energy is not stagnating anymore. Also, you use the law of attraction, and then you start abiding by these other universal laws, right? The laws of the universe to morally get you through the 5D and get you to it more on an enlightened level, right? As you go and begin your fifth dimensional path. We also call that the spiritual path, right? But a lot of people are on different levels of their spiritual path. In the fifth dimension, your vibration is higher, and therefore you get to experience multiple dimensions. Multiple dimensions. I know how that feels because when I started, that's exactly what happened. And it continued on and on and on. And I continued to help other people in the fifth dimension and higher dimensions. You will also not be able to live and see life the way you used to. You won't be able to have conversations or network the way that you used to. Because when you operate your mindset in 5D, it's a whole different world. And most people that are not in 5D yet may not understand really what you're talking about. And you may have to go back down to the fourth or third dimension to discuss things with them, and then go back to the fifth dimension at ease, right? If you are in the fifth dimension already and you have confidence in yourself in it. Okay? Fifth dimension, how do we get to the fifth dimension, right? How do we get to this fifth dimension of really honing in on our meditations, our skills? Meditation has to come to you as if you are going to brush your teeth, as if you're waking up to wash your face, taking a bath. Meditation is simply something like that when you're in the fifth dimension. If you want to hone in on that, connect with me on Facebook and follow me there, or on YouTube here. Subscribe to the channel because I'll come out and talk about the meditation, or I'll post it onto the community. All right. So that's coming up fairly soon. Okay. But that's 5D for you. And living in 5D is not I'll say it's a contentness and it's happiness, but I'm not saying that it's not tough. It is tough as well, because you still have to deal with people that are not quite there in the fifth dimension, which is okay, because you can be mindful to help them to get there, right? And that's exactly what we're doing today. That's why I've started Ask Master Shaman PaLiChee, to help you get going on your spiritual journey so that you can actually get to the 5D, right? So that you can live in the fifth dimension and start to upgrade yourself, your mind, especially if I'm encouraging you to go into meditation more. If you can't do it on your own and you feel like it's not boosting you in some way or shape or form, then you need help. My meditations are pure thought meditations, and I actually lead you and guide you to certain places and dimensions as we go into that transcending meditation, right? It's transcending at times. It is also very reflective at times, and it is also very trauma healing at times. So it just kind of depends on the group that I'm working with and how that feels on that day, right? So we do live meditations there. Also, I want to just take a moment here to announce that you can, if you haven't already known, I'm a spiritual life coach. So I coach you with life aspects, also with spiritual aspects as well, to get you to discern and to know better who you are in your identity, to know better where you came from, your past lives, and then also this lifetime, your ancient ancestors, right? We visit that as well. And then to understand and know your worth in this lifetime and why you're here in this purpose, whether that's a career question or whether that's a purpose question. There's so many layers that needs to be peeled back for all of you so that you can get to 5D. Don't get me wrong, 5D, living in it, means you do have to be willing to face the truth and peel back the layers that's been piling one layer after another, whether it's socially, intermediate family-wise, relationship, career, health-wise, that you've been ignoring, financially, that you've been running away from. All this needs to be connected and reconnected and then seen through the fifth dimension so that you start to understand, what is this life really? What is this meant for me? Right? I'm going to stop here, and I'm looking at my time. I'm opening it up to questions. If you have questions, dream-wise, any questions, I will be able to try to respond to those questions or answer you. If you want to ask the questions and have me respond to them live, come on into the Zoom chat, and I will open up the chat so we can talk live, because I feel that the connection with voice is so much better than typing it out. I don't know about you, but when we have a voice or a articulating moment in what we really need to ask, or what I can answer, I feel more passionate about that than just typing it out for you all. Okay. And today I am doing 3-card pulls, so 3-card personal reading for $33.33. If you just want to donate to support the channel, please do so at the link in the description. It would be much appreciated if you did that. And if you felt that this talk or any of my talks has helped you and has helped you see the light, so to speak, right, has helped you realize and awaken some way, somehow, and or my voice, even for some people, they tell me that the voice, they could just hear it for 5 minutes and they are somewhat brought to a different dimension through the drumming or through the singing. And if that has helped you in some way, shape, or form, please donate to the channel, as that is very much appreciated with all gratitude. If you'd like to ask the question, come out to the Zoom. I'm going to start calling on, okay, so Marianne, you are the first here. I'm going to have you ask your question, Marianne.
Hi, we met back in August, I think it was, and I've been meaning to connect with you. And when this came up today, I thought, oh gosh, this is meant to be, that I'm supposed to connect with you today. I am going out of town next week on a very much needed break away from Minnesota and all of this snow and bad weather. And I just want to know, is there something that I should focus on or be, I guess I don't want to be looking for something. I'm going to reconnect with my spirit.
So you're asking, is there something that you need to know right now?
Yes, about going away next week.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, Marianne, for you is I'm going to pull a card.
And I will connect with you when I get back for other things.
Sounds good. All right. So Marianne, I'm going to pull out a card for you. And I actually feel like the guidance of the oracle cards for you at this time. So I'm going to pull out a card there and see what you need to know right now. Okay. Take a deep breath with me, everyone that is watching live right now with us. It's for Marianne. Great. Here we go, Marianne. Oh, okay. So we got Athena. I don't know if you guys can see that. So Athena, inner wisdom, Marianne. So the card says, you know what to do, trust your inner wisdom, and take appropriate action without delay. So this card tells me that there is an inner knowing of yourself, like you're not seeing visions or hearing something, but you have an inner knowing, a deep inner knowing, that some things you need to do right now to get you there to that 5th dimension that we just talked about. And it feels like you're on the way to go there, actually, to the 5th dimension, to kind of get on that brink. And it is your inner wisdom that is letting you know. I also see your grandmother popping in, and she's nodding her head right now. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium, so I connect with past loved ones. But Marianne, your grandmother comes in and she's nodding her head. She actually has glasses on as well. I don't know if she's ever worn them or if you...
I don't remember.
See that, but she has some glasses on, and it looks like she's in the 50s, 1950s time, but she's nodding her head. She kind of has wavy or curly hair. And she's nodding her head and she's saying that you have inner wisdom. So,
Mm.
and the inner wisdom is through your grandmother as well.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you didn't know that yet, but you are also having this time thing going on. And so it's a clock ticking. So I see this clock ticking, or this owl also is a timekeeper. And I feel like you also feel this need, like you want to know what to do now, like almost like opening this book, looking at this chapter, let me read it, and then let me go to the next chapter. And I feel that because you're thinking that I don't have a lot of time to try to get to 5D and actually live in 5D longer, you want to extend that time. And it feels like you're at the brink of the time that you need to be in. So don't worry too much about that. Okay.
Okay.
Does that
Thank you.
make sense?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. So you're on the path to where you need to be. Okay. Because you just listen to your intuition. Your grandmother is guiding you as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Marianne, if you can go out there on the YouTube chat to just let me know how that went for you, that would be great. Just give me a quick feedback on the YouTube chat. Warm blessings, Marianne. All right. I have Therese. Therese, if you want to come in. You don't have to open your video. It's up to you if you feel comfortable. I think it's Therese. I didn't know if you had a question. So I'm looking here, Therese. She says, I just want to know if I'm going through a spiritual awakening. So Therese, I want you to come out to talk with me and chat with me here. I don't know if you're on right now. So she says she's at work. She's typing it for me in the Zoom chat. So Therese, are you going, she says that she wants to know if she's going through a spiritual awakening. And Therese, you are going through a spiritual awakening. You're in about, I want to say 25% in the spiritual awakening or spiritual path. And what that really means for you, Therese, is that you're on the brinks, or you have dabbed your toes into a spiritual awakening path. And you need to actually consider getting some guidance to get through that. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Therese. But if it does, please go out there and type in on the chat for me if that makes sense for you. Okay. But you will need to, you are on the spiritual awakening path, and you'll need to get some kind of guidance or hand holding to get through that. Especially, I want to tell everybody, and not just Therese, because this goes to everyone, that you'll need to consider meditation as the very first step to any spiritual path that you go on to. So whether you're becoming a shaman, I don't care if you have a sifu, a teacher, or a guru, whoever it may be, you need to put meditation at the top of your list, because that's where your mind is going to be able to exercise, and it is going to be able to hone in on the correct discernment. Once you get meditating, you cannot go back, and you're going to start to move yourself through 4D and then to 5D within that. So you need to allow yourself to do and give it time. It is not a quick turnaround time, but for some it may be. Now, if you're like me, I didn't have to meditate at first and then got into my spiritual journey, right? There might be these kinds of one-offs, right? Where suddenly overnight, I'm shaken by my guides. I'm taken by the spirit guides through so many dimensions overnight. And then I'm just given a ton of information, downloads, tons of messages, and then about life, about everything that we are on the planet for. And I'm getting all this information like this overnight. And then I start to meditate, right? If you guys are going or did go through or have gone through situations like this, or a special phenomenon like this, then this is something that is a little bit different from the majority, right? The majority is going to need to go through a meditation phase, and then you get connected to your guides. Some of you are already connected, but you don't know how to really believe yourself, or then you're doubting yourself and then you're fearing them, thinking that they're negative or positive, and I don't know. And am I getting these messages from evil spirits or good spirits? What are they? So you need to meditate so that your mind can exercise and that you can start to begin to go into fifth dimension, this deeper dimension, and then trust yourself. Create this relationship with yourself and your spirit guides, whoever they may be. Like for Marianne, it was her grandmother, right? So Therese, if that makes sense to you, and I think she says it does. She says, yes, it does. I went through, let me see if I can read this. I went through a karmic relationship last year. It has ended. Yes, and sometimes it takes us to go through these walls. We have to go crash into the wall before we can realize, oh, I really miss my parents. Oh, I really miss this certain sibling because they helped me through it. I really feel like I need to get back with my loved ones, my family, because they were there for me when I was little, because they were there for me at this certain time. Or maybe they were never there for me, but I'm going to decide to go and be there for them because there was something missing there within the family, right? Or something missing there within different relationships. And maybe it's the relationship with yourself that you are missing as well. I'm going to stop here. If you haven't gone onto the Zoom chat and you've written in the top chat, I'm going to respond to some questions there as well. Sylvester Hyung says, hey, Master Shaman, how do I pay for the reading? Okay, so I don't know if you figured that out. I have to look, but Sylvester, if you're still on, you must go onto the description and there's the tip jar there, link to PayPal. It's just PayPal. Okay, so I'm sorry guys for those of you that has paid for readings. I'll look now. Thank you and shout out to Dominic. Dominic, Warm Blessings. I believe it was Dominic 88 or I forgot the spiritual name. I believe it's Dominic 88 and Warm Blessings for your warm donation. And he says, thank you for great videos that you do always. Love your content, heart and Juju Chi. Warm Blessings, Dominic 88. I blinked out on your spiritual name. I'm so sorry. But yes, if you guys want to do the 3-card pull, please go in now. I'm at the top of the hour so that I can catch you. But it's through the PaLiChee@gmail.com or PaLiChee@gmail email for PayPal. Okay. Otherwise, it's through the tip jar, $33.33. All right. For those of you that have donated warm blessings to you, whether it's in the past, in the present, and monthly, I have monthly donators as well to the channel and just to PaLiChee Healing. Warm blessings, and I hope to make this channel even bigger. I'm trying with a busy schedule. Also, I want to say that if you don't know yet, I'm a spiritual and life coach. Okay, so I help you through your life, through the spiritual aspects of your life, and then other aspects of the life as well. And we peel back the layers of whatever you've been going through, different traumas, different karmas. We do karma cord cutting ceremony as well. And by peeling back those layers, we help you to get you through and alchemize what is it that wasn't to be, okay? And that what is it that needs to be, all right? So if you go on to follybehealing.com, that is the website, right? I'll put it in the chat box. Very calm. Warm blessings, very calm. I totally forgot, that just blanked out of my mind. So Sylvester shown warm blessings. If you guys, what was I saying? It was about the peeling of the layers and the different karma or trauma releases that we do, karma cord cutting, and past life regression. To help you get through those, we peel back the layers and we go there. And you must be willing to face that as well, right? You must be willing to go there with me because you have that responsibility when you go in through this personal or group healing. Then we connect to release any trauma that needs to be released as of whenever they were still hanging on, right? The baggage or the lagging that's stopping you from actually moving on in your relationship, going further into a career that maybe you wanted to go but never got to, or maybe just trying to figure out what that is, your purposeful path. And if you've gone with me through that already, for those of you that have done the 4-week or the 8-week empowerment program or the 4-week personal program to peel back the layers, then you'll want to continue your education through the challenge of meditating, right? And I'm going to throw that out there, whether it's a challenge that I'm going to do, like a 3-day challenge, or a meditation classes that I'm going to be throwing out. We're going to be doing that soon. So be sure to hit that notification button. If you're not subscribed yet, go and subscribe and keep up with what I'm going to be putting out there soon. All right. I'm going to end this today with a card pull for the week. And Therese, if you can go out there and just give me a quick feedback on YouTube chat, that would be great. I'm hoping to find something better platform to doing these. All right, here we go. Card for the weekend, for the next couple of days. Ooh, so we've got, I don't know if you can see that, but it's Sedna. She is a goddess, and it's infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. This is living in 5D. When you are feeling that there's infinite supply of something, know that everything else is an illusion and that you can be able to ease in through time and space to get you there, through manifestation and then through your phenomenons, right? Phenomenon, or the other way to say that is your spiritual experiences. All right. Know that you have infinite supply of whatever it is that you need, whatever it is that is necessary, and that you are in the right place at the right time. Know that. Then you will start to know and feel that you're living in the 5th dimension. as you start to turn and know your mind into that, right? Turn your mind into that, live in that, in the state of mind, then it will become abundant when things are not, where things are not scarce. They are very abundant, and you must know this. That was the card for the weekend. Warm blessings, everyone, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.